Hello. I was asked to do another video, and this video they wanted me to explain to them more about, I don't know how to say it, more about bringing the light into you. That's a little confusing for me because I feel that the Holy Spirit is the light. So that part of me is what I think of it as. I feel and I think of it as the Holy Spirit coming into me and filling my body and pushing out all that darkness. Um, Other people that I know just say bringing the light in. Of course, like I said, my thought process is different than others. But I will show you how I do it, and then it is up to you to do it your way. With me, I focus on God first, always. As you know, my other videos, God comes first, Jesus. I focus on Him, and then I imagine that light of Him. I mean, it is brighter than the brightest light bulb you've ever had in your house. It's like the sun, you know. You know when you're standing outside and you're facing the sun and you can feel the heat of the sun and you can almost see the light through your eyelids. Well, amplify that light and then you just bring it into your head. And I imagine it going through every cell of my head, my bones, my skin, and just all through then I bring it down my throat, into my shoulders, my hands, out my hands, down my torso, out through my legs, my feet. And when I'm doing that, I'm imagining that all this gunk, all this stuff that has gathered up around me from going to the grocery store, um, going out to eat or visiting with people. Sometimes I have to do that in order to breathe. That was one of my main struggles in life, is trying to calm my inner self. And the first video I talked about imagining the string, straightening out that string down through you and that light coming into you at the same time. And that's what you do. You just focus on it and you just push it all out. And when I'm doing that, I'm imagining that it's like a cyclone going around my body, severing all ties, like a cyclone of knives. I know that sounds awful saying it that way, but that's what I envision, of Jesus just going around my body and cutting all those black ties off of me that I see on everybody. And I can see them when they come out at me. That's something some people, it's a little weird. I didn't understand it at first. I was younger when that happened. Somebody, I hate to say this, but we had gone somewhere and there was a preacher and he was just he looked like tar. He was just so dark and in his spirit. He was a Caucasian man, but his spirit and what was around him was just so dark. And when he was talking, I could see things just, like, just, I don't know, it's just like it comes out at you. It's awful to say that about a preacher. But, the devil doesn't mind who he gets after. That's something that you'll find out, or you probably already know. But back to tell you, this is hard for me. It's hard for me to explain. And I know that I need to do this for some of the people that are looking to me to want answers on how to do what I do for me. And that's what I do. I just ask them to do that. Focus the light going through you. And sometimes if you breathe in, you imagine that light coming in, filling your lungs, and just as you breathe out, it pushes all that negative gunk, stress, Anything you can think of that is hindering you in your life at that time, you push that out and you give it to God. No matter who hurts you, no matter um, how you treated others, you forgive yourself, forgive others, and then just do that and push it out. When you forgive, people say it's hard to forgive. You don't know what they've done to me. No, I don't. I don't know what they've done to you. I know from my personal struggle and what happened to me that I had to do that, or I would have been still stuck in a dark place. I had been I just had a horrible experience. I had been forced to do things that I did not want to do in a bad way. I was held down, forced thing on forced things were forced on top of me. I was not a good relationship. Let's just put it that way. And I forgave that person. And the reason I don't speak that person's name is because I truly do forgive them. I feel that when I forgive them, then God takes that and I ask for him to bless them. Yeah. I forgave them and I asked God to bless them. But when I did that, it was a release. I felt a release. I when you see that person, because you see them all the time, you're in a small city and you see them, you see their face, and I would, my breath would catch. Then I'd have the night terrors start again, and different things. They called it PTSD. Those things were hindering me greatly with my walk with God, greatly. And when I did that and I forgave them and I asked God to bless them, I was shocked because when I saw them again, I had no feeling at all toward them. None. No fear, no anger, nothing. It was as if I met a stranger. And that was a relief, such a big relief. And because I did that, I did that. That's when I could feel that light more inside me. That's when I asked for the light to come into me, I can feel it just consume me, this light, and it's warm and it's loving. It's like my cousin, she speaks of how she feels the angel's wings coming around her and holding her. Well, that's the way the light feels to me. I feel like God's holding me in a place. And when you finally figure out and you got yourself centered, you feel that light of God in you, and you stand stronger, you know what you need to do, and it helps. Doing that helps me stand stronger in what I need to do to help others. It helps me see things clear. It helps me hear things clear. It's a way of freeing yourself. That's what it is. Freeing yourself from the chains that really burdened you since the first time it started. When I see those things with people and I see that the abuse, I always see it as it looks like we used to have a toy that you would throw and it would stick to the wall, and it'd be this sticky thing and it would just stretch and slap back at you. Well, these things, it's like that, but solid black. It almost looks like tar in a way. And I see them go out like that and then pull the people back to it. And then it's a connection, and it's feeding, and it's using the energy, and it's making that person that it's connected to very, very ill. Ill in their mind, ill in their heart, and sometimes ill in their body. It causes all kinds of stuff. It causes emotional stress, fatigue, um, cancers. It's bad. But this is what I see, what I feel. Now, there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of people see things differently and feel things differently. I always said that I did not get on here to tell about my life story. That was one of my first or second video. I didn't get on here to boast about the things that I do or anything, but when people are coming to me, and the only thing that I can think of is to tell them my story that helped me in order to heal them. I can't get away from saying things about me. Oh boy. But you know what you need to do. And once you get to that strength and you've got that, and you know what that light feels like coming into you, and you know what it feels like, and then that's when you start being able to push it into the ground, bringing it up around you like a sphere, and just encasing you in this light inside and out around you. And when you're walking, I always imagine when I'm walking, every step I take, God is a step before me or two steps. He's going with me, and he's pushing me through this crowd. And I noticed when I'm feeling like that, and I stand tall, and I know he's with me, he's got me, I'm going. It's surprising how many people move out of your way. I was never like that in school. I was the one that hid behind my best friend, hanging on her shirt tail, Come on, you go. Push right through. God love her, she tolerated me. But do that. When you do that, then you can focus on cleansing your area, your house, your room. You start with your bedroom. I always ask God to bring his light in, fill me with his Holy Spirit, and that from north, south, east to west of my home, that he just pushes everything out, cleanses it, and leave a barrier there so that I have a place of peace, a place that I can come to and rest my mind. That's the way I do it. You do it your way. But I always start from one side of my bedroom, the furthest from the door or the window, and I either go around imagining the light going through the room, seeing it, pushing the light through every orifice, everything in the room, and pushing it either out the window or out the door. But I always have either one opened. Sometimes I have them both opened, but it's the way I do it. I go room and I just push it out. Some people want you to bring it in and listen to it, and some people can't handle that. And I don't want to do that, because everything I've heard and listened to, when I'm in a predicament, when I am at that point that I'm at somebody's home cleansing it, that is not a human spirit a lot of times. No. That's something much darker. And it takes a lot of trust in God, and a lot of faith in yourself that he is with you and he has your back. Because if there is any weakness in your body or in your mind, the thing that is there will attack that part of you. It will come at you, and it will come at you hard. And you have to stay strong like that, because if you don't, then it will come at you in other ways that you're not prepared for. I can go on and on with this. And I'm sorry this has taken so long now. I'm just trying my best to try to say what I feel that people asking me need this, how I do it. As I said, everything begins with Jesus for me. It begins with Jesus and it ends with Jesus. It's up to you on whether you want it to end and begin with Jesus too. So stay strong, Stay focused. Know He is there. Know He is the light. He is the only light. And He's got you.